Beneath the surface. Are they trying to assimilate Canada?
We can't allow a Vex conversion to happen. Our own investigation aside, the Ionians call this place home.
We won't save them from the singularity just to lose them to the Vex. Crush the eye of the needle and the thread will choke.
The Vex here aren't a splinter faction. The Conductor is leading them.
Oh, Sundaresh. Her motives smack of unfinished business. Desperation.
If she's here in person, it can't be good. Last we saw her, we learned how cruel she could be, even to her loved ones.
You mean Shioma? I remember the two of them were lost in the Vex network. How is this what became of them?
Shioma was horrified by what Maya became, and Maya couldn't handle that. We know how she works. That gives us an edge, even if she's dangerous. Guardian, that machine looks like another time-lost invitation, similar to the one that empowered you before.
If the Nine want to give you power, who are we to refuse?
Now that's something. I can see you now. When you're all spherical like that, it's almost like a star in the sky. We're connected through a chain of dark matter. It's everything.
If it's a chain linking to your enemies, use it to pull them apart.
A little violent, but the situation calls for it.
Vex mind was controlling the flow of radiolaria. Without it, their assimilation of Kepler will stall.
I know Maya Sundaresh and her schism. This shield was echinacea, an anti-paracausal shell. It is a spark of the Nine, derived from their power. I recognize its shallow anxiety. Kepler harbors their influence.
You aren't suggesting they're helping each other. The Conductor and the Nine?
No. This place has always been touched by the Nine. The Vex exploit it somehow. I can put this together, Ikora. I promise.
I thought most Vex malfunctioned when they were exposed to dark matter. But that new shielding incorporated it.
The Nine don't dabble in coincidence, and everything here is lining up too well. If the Vex are stealing power, the Nine are at least allowing it.
I'd rather not think of the implications of that.
You've lived too long to carbonate in guesses. This time was planned, but not for the Vex. I remember that much.
You got me, 3. I'm paying attention now. I hate these even more.
I agree. This part always makes my shell itch. I actually don't feel you when we're in one of these, Guardian. Let's move quick.
Focus, Ray. Here and now. You're entering the Vex exclusion zone, Guardian. Find how they're co-opting the Nine's power and put a stop to it.
Deep scans are picking up dark matter and deep metal trinity. This place looks like a quarry geared towards mining out the anomaly's power.
Orin, how does dark matter relate to the Nine? My understanding is it's non-reflective and has odd qualities, but still natural.
The Nine are, in simple terms, made of dark matter. It tangles with enough mass, like they do.
So the Vex are tapping dark matter from the anomaly, and that matter is tangled with the Nine's power? That must be what the Vex are keeping contained. Some live wire that lets them tap into whatever the Nine were doing, and reprogram it.
Carrying a lot of energy, probably enough to shatter that conflict pylon. That should lower the barrier and let us out.
You are here. This is where they refine their power.
Wait, I'm picking up Elixni signatures. The House of Exile just ignited a glimmer drill.
One enemy force stealing Nine's power is enough. Shut down their operation, then we deal with the Vex.
That's the last of the exiles. Now for the Vex. Guardian, we're looking for a series of conversion engines tied to conflux pylons.
Like I said, Guardian. Leave it in flames.
Refine it. Whatever. The Vex can't convert any more dark matter. Wait. Vex mine incoming!
The Overseer, who holds Hourglass Sands.
I bet they break just the same.
The Titan in me is blushing.
House of Exile just ignited a glimmer drill. Shielded. Our weapons won't work.
You'll need the Nine's power to punch through.
down.
Why would the Vex need the Nine for shielding? I've seen a Minotaur phase through time to dodge an attack.
Against something paracausal, that phasing is a coin flip. The fourth dimension doesn't have that hindrance.
Knowing the Nine can subvert our agency is bad enough. But you're saying they can predict futures the Vex can't?
The Vex find a future that suits them. The Nine engineer one through. Intermediaries and pressure.
Surely they follow some rules.
Ikora, I know what it feels like to have your autonomy brushed aside. That woman is dead, and Lodi worked hard to protect her memory. But in the eyes of the Nine, you exist simultaneously. A constant.
Stop, Orin. These borders matter. I know who I am. Maya's Vex co-opting Nine energy is a bad sign. Even if you don't think they're working together.
I remember her, but her transformation is a blind spot. What happened that turned her into the Conductor?
A fragment of paracausal power touched down on Nessus, and one of her simulations rose out of the VexNet and claimed it. Originally, she was looking for her white Chioma, but the Vex she co-opted began to change, to individualize.
She will not find her wife here, but she will find a being who knows.
Guardian, I've got confirmed intel. The Vex mine maintaining the quarantine has the last strangelet we need to reach 3.
My final tethers to the Nine are snapping. I feel like a live wire fraying. The charge is still there, sparking at the ends.
You won't miss that power? The station? It's a lot to walk from.
The Nine's power, the light, it all came from outside myself. I'm looking forward to finding what's left when that all fades away.
I'm glad to hear you say that and that you're back with us. All the power in the world isn't worth having none over yourself.
That's strange. Some of the radiolaria in the Vex down here is reading as being from, well, not our timeline. They're trying to wall off our path. We'll have to push through some familiar territory to reach the mine maintaining the dampening field.
If the Guardian dismantles it, we'll have enough Strangelet capsules to safely reach the Singularity.
And 3's on the other side with our message. One step closer to an answer. One last leap of faith. If Maya can already manipulate time, why all this friction?
Unlike the Nine, they're bound by their dimension. Chronal flow applies to all. Time moves forward, never backward. I want answers too, Ikora. We're simultaneous.
Looks like we're about to hit resistance. Get ready.
Resistance. You have reached an end, little ghost. Seeking to avert a catastrophe after the fact. Yourself dumb from battle before it ever cuts deep enough to draw blood. But you will try.
It's an ambush, Guardian. Take cover. Trying to lock us in. Clear a path and let's look for a way to disable those barriers.
This message was for me, Guardian, not you.
The Nine keeps stringing us along. They always get the future they determine.
Time is chord notation, the known possible scale of everything. But if the tone is set, why scheme against fate? Still, the Nine try, don't they?
Chords have variance to a degree. Tiny alterations in a range.
You're catching on. The Titan in me misses helping people. The city might do me some good.
I'm glad to hear you consider it. You could help us retake Seoul. Start small. Maybe Chicago. fire with an exile raiding party.
But thankfully, no giant minotaurs this time.
The Archon must be using us as a distraction to breach the Vex quarantine.
Too bad they crossed paths with you, Guardian.
Guardian, destroying that brig deactivated a nearby exile signal. I think they had sealed off one of these buildings.
A door in waiting. A bridge across space.
You know, there's remnants of Elixir technological signatures in the assimilated architecture here. The house must have been right on top of the anomaly before the Vex pushed them out.
The Archon's been trying to get back in ever since. It makes me think they'll make a push once we bring down the dampening field.
We'll need to be ready. But right now, we kill the noise. Kill the noise and hear our answers.
Guardian down. These old human colonial outposts have been here for a long time. I wonder what they were researching before they captured this.
Response is not necessary. This is not a conversation. You're only meant to listen. How readily you obey fate. A leader without agency. A discarded puppet wrapped in her wires. And the weapon. Guardian, the Nine flatter you and themselves. But my enemies do not threaten me. Because I do not allow it. I command their passivity. They cannot raise their weapons.
I will drag the past to us if I must. That's her plan, isn't it? She knows the Nine can do things the Vex can't.
Mine's defenses are linked to a series of shielded complexes. I bet we can take it out with this.
9 crowding the corners of my cortex. Don't let them in. They'll burn through any non-emissary.
There it is, Guardian. That Vex mine has the capsule we need. I don't care what Maya says. We're on her doorstep and she feels it.
I've had enough of this wall in my brain. I'm looking forward to seeing it crumble.
The mine's defenses are linked to a series of shielded confluxes. I bet we can take it out with this. Guardian, bring them down. the final Strangelet capsule. We did it. The quarantine field is failing.
We just detected a shockwave from the singularity.
My connection is still tethered. Ikora, I'm letting 9 in. Talk to me to talk to them.
We have questions.
Commander, answers later. Bask. Perihelion around my maypole. But I do have a message for the weapon-to-be. Guardian, we knew salt water would evaporate. Missiles aping at solar flares would collide. Humanity was destined to burn. 3 and I, well, we looked at the Valley of Unknown Space. We saw our nature would nurture the conditions for uppercase light. Your resurrection was enabled by our hand for this purpose. Your action will end the looming horizon. For this, you were positioned, set into orbit. This and 3's message to come. Always loved warming your armor, Sunshine.
My will is my own. It's as frightening as it is freeing. Don't misunderstand me. I didn't choose to be a lightbearer. I did choose to be an emissary. And I chose to leave. I don't miss either life. I choose to bear truth. To share fragments I've stowed away from beyond the borders of known space. The knowledge I keep will save others. But first, there is a piece of myself that I left buried to grow in old soil. My ghost, Gaul. We planted violet petals from the Golden Age. My hands, their shell. After we leave here, that's where I'll go. One brief respite until fate calls us back to right the impossible.
Everyone, we have the last Strangelet capsule. Guardian, we need to take this to the Altar of Relativity and get that door open.
This is it. I'm finally gonna learn why I'm here. Big moment. For all of you too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Round of congrats to everyone. But we're not out of the doghouse yet.
Drifter's right. I'm sure the Archon will be on the move soon now that the quarantine is down. And when he does...
Quiet. Yes, you have reached your goal and torn down my collective's quarantine. This is marginally impressive, but not beyond expectations. You are free to enter and play out your adventure. As I have said, I concluded my business there long ago. All that is left is to see if the Guardians really do make their own fate. Or if you will let the Nine puppeteer your power to their whims. Remember that it is they who manipulated you. They who spent your lives so recklessly to save themselves. They who see you as something less. All I am doing is all I have ever done. Improving a broken system. You may remain shielded. Or be drawn into a losing battle.
Everyone, we have the last Strangelet capsule. Guardian, we need to take this to the Altar of Relativity and get that door open.
Goodbye, Guardian.
Guardian, Drop everything you're doing.
This is it. I'm finally gonna learn why I'm here. Big moment. For all of you too, I'm sure.